Good morning, world. Welcome. Once again, we're live with another In Conversation with. It's March the 2nd, 2020. It's 10 o'clock UK time for anyone watching this around the world. Today, I'm really thrilled to be joined by Darren Shaw. We're going to have a really interesting conversation today. Morning, Darren. Thank you very
Good
much.
morning, Brian.
Please introduce yourself to the world. Tell them all who you are.
Yeah, my name's Darren Shaw. I run a gym over in Scunthorpe, which is in North Lincolnshire, those people who don't know, in England. And I've had it for about a year now, as we're probably going to discuss more about that, I would imagine.
Yes, no, absolutely. Because I thought, obviously, you and me, we've known each other for a little while now. And
Yeah.
When I had a phone call from you, well, yes, this is about a year ago, telling me that you've bought a gym. I must admit, I was a little bit. You've done what?
Yeah, well, it has been my dream. I used to be in the army.
Yeah.
I was a physical training instructor in the army, so it's always been my dream to get a gym.
So tell us a bit about your background in fitness as a whole type thing. So let's start with that.
Yeah, I've always been passionate about fitness ever since school, and entering every single race I possibly could at school, and that was all I was ever good at, I suppose. In one sense, I feel a bit sorry for myself, but that was what I was good at. I was going to join the RAF as a physical training instructor. Long story short, I ended up joining the army. Got based in Cyprus, and then got the opportunity to go on a PTI course, physical training instructor course. And again, like I say, it was my dream. Did that for 5 or 6 years, and I thought I'll get out and pursue my career in fitness. And then quickly realised that they kind of want the money that I needed to earn in fitness. I got this first job at Scunthorpe Leisure Centre, and they told me my hourly wage, and I was like, adding it all up, going, yeah, that doesn't equate to my mortgage and whatever else I need to pay. So a bit naive, but I didn't have a look into that side of it. So then you've got to dive into doing other things to be able to pay the bills. But in the back of my mind, it was always, one day I'll have a gym. I've run boot camps, so I've always run boot camps. I've done them for the last 12 years. So, I've kind of kept myself going.
Yeah, you did a lot of outdoor stuff, didn't you?
Yeah, all outdoors, out in the thick of it, whether it was snowing, raining, whatever the case may be, we was out there, and we're a few other lunatics that wanted to be out there in the freezing cold. But we had a good laugh. It was really good. And then this opportunity came up in the middle of lockdown last year, so kind of went.
We're going to dive into that in just a second. Yeah. I just want to say to everyone who comes in and out and joining us today, if you have any questions about sort of this whole thing about running a gym, then please put your questions into the comments box, whatever platform you're on, whether being Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. Put the questions in there. We'll try our very hardest, or Darren will, to answer your questions. If we can't answer them as we're doing on the live stream, then we will find an answer for you retrospectively, come back to you after. So we'll promise you that. So okay, so we're in lockdown. Everyone stays at home. We can't really do anything. Somehow you get to speak to someone who owns a gym, and unsurprisingly, they want to sell it.
Yes. Well, it actually originally happened before lockdown, before it all happened. I was going to the gym one morning, and he just approached me to say, I've heard that you're looking to buy me out. That's the phrase that he used. And I was like, oh, it feels a bit harsh. But I knew all the stuff there. I was there as a member. And, me and my big mouth always said, if he ever sells it, let me know, won't you? And you never know. It's like anything, isn't it, in business? You kind of go, well, just say yes to everything and see what happens, make it up.
Yeah.
And then the day came, which I never expected, where he says, well, do you want to buy it? And obviously I said yes. And I was like, right, how am I going to do this type of thing? But yeah, interesting.
And that's quite interesting, because obviously I know the gym that you have, and it's certainly not a small gym. So how do you go around in when everything is in meltdown, everything is shut up? How do you go about? Because I suppose you can't just go to the bank, hey, give me some money, I want to buy a gym. They're not going to be too open-minded about that in the middle of a lockdown, are they?
Well, there was, to be honest with you. I approached the bank manager. It was shut at this stage, and said, I want to buy this gym. And asked how many members I had, and at the time it was 0. Asked what the turnover was, and at the time it was 0. But, luckily there was open-minded to, the past, how the gym was, the success it had before. And, there was open-minded enough to listen. And because it was a good opportunity, it's like anything. If you buy something when it's low, it's the best time to buy it, isn't it? So everyone's like, why are you buying a gym in the lockdown? Well, that's the perfect time to buy, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
And I got a good opportunity to buy it at the price that it was at its lowest. You don't want to buy a gym when it's at its highest, really, do you? No. Because there's not a lot of movement to go. So, yeah, perfect opportunity. Buy when it's low and sell when it's high, so to speak, don't you?
I think there's a lot of lessons in that, and I think obviously the feeling you have is that it's a very brave decision, but actually, when you look deeper into it, like you do, and you have a lifetime of experience in it, that is the time to buy. I quite often use the analogy. We all remember 9/11, and the chaos that came from that, and all airlines were basically going bust all around the world after it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
At that time, Ryanair went to Boeing and says, "I want to buy 200 airplanes," and he basically got them for buy one get one free, and that made Ryanair be what it is today because he basically built his fleet for nothing.
Wow.
So, and I think that goes. You can use that analogy on you as well, can't you? You went in at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
Bought your gym, didn't you?
Knowing that it's always going to, it was always going to come back, wasn't it? We didn't buy it. I didn't physically change over because they wouldn't let me change over until it was physically open.
No.
2 days after it opened, it was we were straight in there and get out there and start marketing, really. And again, it was a good opportunity because people did want to get out the house. There was a few people, because obviously we're just coming out of COVID, so to speak, that was still a bit skeptical and still needed to protect people at home. So it was difficult to get up to the numbers where we was before, don't get me wrong, but there's still plenty of people that wanted to get out and start and get the health and fitness back into where it was before.
Yeah. So I realized that the process obviously was a little bit different for you because obviously you were dealing with this thing about the lockdown stuff. But from you and the previous owner made the decision, okay, we're going to make this transition from him to you. You get to speak to the bank. How long did that process take you from, that's it, I got the keys? I know you had to wait to open up.
10 months.
Yeah? Fairly long process then.
Yeah. Really long process. Well, they want everything from you, don't they?
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, it was a long process. Plus, Energy Fitness is part of the franchise as well. So I had to, even though they're not actively involved in the day-to-day running, obviously they have the systems and things like that. So I needed to get a sign off from them and be accepted by them. So then obviously you've got to pitch yourself to say the reasons why I'm going to be successful in the gym and what I want to do, how I want to take it forward. A lot of the information that the bank want is obviously your cash flows and where you're going to be at, where you want to be at, what your goals are, and everything else. And luckily enough, so far we're way on track of where we said we were going to be when we were closed.
I have absolutely no doubt that you will make a massive success out of that. So there's no doubt about it, and I know you well enough to know that. So, what was that feeling? Because obviously this has been a lifelong dream for you to own your own gym. So describe the feeling that day you got that key.
Oh God, I think it's like sometimes you don't. How can I put it? One of my biggest downfalls really is you're not living in the moment, and you kind of get it. You're excited, but as soon as you get them keys, your first reaction is, "Wow, I've got to keep this now."
Yeah.
So it is a bit. You should live that moment of being excited, and I was absolutely buzzing about having a gym. But I think as soon as you're thinking about that, the next thing you're thinking, yeah, I've also got tens of thousands of pounds over my head that I've now got to cover very quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was absolutely just over the moon. Like I said, it was, well, literally, it will have been 20 years since I got out of the army, 19 years since I got out of the army. So, ever since that day one, I've been looking forward to it. One day having a gym. Never thought it would ever happen, but you still try and keep it, try and keep your head above water and, hopefully aim for that dream, don't you? And You know,
And I think there's a massive thing there for everyone, because it doesn't matter who you are, what you do. If you have that dream, it doesn't matter how long it takes. Just stick at it.
100%. Never give up. Just because you're not achieving what you want to achieve now. I mean, I'm quite a very, and I think that's the army background as well. I'm quite a very, very strong-minded person. I'm not a moaner. I'm not a. God, I could tell you some stories. We could talk all day, and I'm sure you could as well, with things that just haven't worked out and whatever else. But you just got to dust yourself off and get up and go again, and know that one day, I always knew that one day I'd have one. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. But you just keep going, keep getting out there. I mean, we both do a lot of networking, and just the biggest thing about it, you just never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you're going to come across, and just get out there, put yourself about, and eventually people. You just don't know what's going to happen,
you don't.
And who you're going to meet and who they know. I know it sounds a massive cliche in networking, but you have no idea who you're going to meet. I turn up at networking, and I'm not saying people don't know who I am, but they have no idea what contacts you have. I went networking last night, as you well know, and the amount of people you can speak to and go, I know someone who can help you with that. I know someone who can help you with that. And it's and people can do the same for me. And you just don't.
Absolutely.
One of the biggest sayings is you don't know what you don't know what you don't know, do you? You just got to get out there and
Absolutely.
Keep your name out there. And
there's an extraordinary amount of resource around you that you don't know it's there. So as long as you keep your eyes sort of mind open to it, the possibilities of people out who actually wants to help as well. It's quite extraordinary.
Yeah.
So you've been about a year now. So you got the keys. You got the daunting task of filling up the subscription books again. So describe that year for us. How's it been? Because obviously a lot of hard work.
Yeah, a lot of hard work, recruiting the right staff. We've managed to double the size of a gym from where we was. I think you're always your worst critic, aren't you? Because you just want to keep improving and keep going to the next stage. And it's been a learning curve for me. I kind of said, before Christmas was a bit of a, as I call it to the staff and the management team, it was a bit of a dress rehearsal. After Christmas in January, that's the time when we kind of go, we're taking no prisoners now.
No.
One thing that's very, very strange about owning a gym compared to, I'm in transport, and as you know, and been in transport for years. And I don't really lose customers, and I know you're in a very similar situation, and if I was going to lose one for whatever reason, I would fight hard to keep them, whatever, why would you ever leave me type of thing. And the hardest thing about a gym is you're going to lose about 50 to 80 people a month.
Yeah, it's very transient, isn't
it? To me, it's like, I won't lose 50 to 80 people, but you do through people losing jobs, from people not having time to go to the gym, from moving away, to having children, to life. As we all know, life gets in the way with going to the gym. And, even people, it's $21.99 a month, and people will have to cancel it on the run up to Christmas because they need as much money as they can, and it's a very strange business where that's concerned, because you see 80 people disappearing off your books, even though you're growing, the net growth is still there and still great. But to lose them people kind of hurts me.
I could imagine that takes a lot of mental agility to get around that. I don't know if you've sort of noticed, but because yes, I'll go to, although you can't see it as much as you ought to, I go to the gym all the time as well. I have done for years and years.
I know.
This year seems to be different, because normally you turn up in January and the gyms are jam packed. It's just you can't get to any equipment because every man his dog is in there, because everyone now has to become fit. And that sort of carries on January, February, but sort of end of February starts to slow down. Now, went to the gym last night, 1st of March, busier than ever. I've never seen the gym that busy on 1st of March in my entire life. You experiencing the same?
Yeah, I think it's psychological with people. As soon as they get paid, they have a bit of a new lease of life, if that makes sense, and how different people live and whatever else. But as soon as they get that pay packet, they kind of go, oh, I feel great again. I've got some money and I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do this. And the beginning of the month is always massive, always busy.
It was more in fact that it's, the rush of everyone coming in wanting to get fit again is always big in January, but in our gym we normally start seeing people not going again sort of end of February and March time when it sort of dies down, but it doesn't seem to die down here.
No, we've grown in January, obviously. We continued to grow in February, and we're continuing to grow in March, which is strange because I struggle to get my head. I'm new to running gyms and looking at the stats and everything. But you'd think if you was going to join the gym, whoever was going to join would join in January. So you think in February, you aren't really going to get anyone joining because everyone who was going to join this year
has already done it.
That's not how it works. It's strange, but so much goes on in people's lives, and they're probably the busiest time is in January in work, so they don't get the chance to get back into it, or they've had family problems or issues where they can't get into the gym. Obviously, COVID's been an interesting factor this year. We've still got people who have got the memberships on we've suspended them because if they don't feel safe of coming into the gym for whatever reason, or they're protecting someone, we'll just suspend the membership straight away. And I try and do that with most, to try and get on the phones and struggling or whatever. I'd rather them, instead of cancelling it, I'd rather them suspend it and then let me know when you're ready and we can just press the button and start it back up again.
100%. I do think that as this season goes, I think it will be a different season because people have been locked up for so long that I think they probably appreciate being able to go to the gym a lot more than what we did before. I think that's a lot of things that we took for granted that perhaps we are not taking as for granted now as what we used to.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think obviously fitness helps with a lot of things, and we are going through, difficult times for some people at the moment. Mental health is massive, bigger than it's ever been. I'd never, as growing up, it was never something you kind of heard about, really over the last 5 years it's become, unfortunately, quite big out there. And, I have tried, and probably nice person as we all like to be, if someone is struggling financially and they've had to cancel the membership because they've lost a job, I've let them come for a month if I believe it to be genuine, because it is a big part in people's mental health. I've tried to say, look, keep your gym membership going for a month. I'll suspend it. Let me know when you get back on your feet with your job, and we'll activate it back up again and try and
that's lovely.
Support people through it the best you can. Everyone's not genuine, and I have to make a decision on whether I think it's genuine or not. But to try and keep people going and keep them in the, I've just read the not the newspaper, but Scunthorpe Live this morning, and it's unfortunately is what you're hearing quite a lot. And if you can do your bit to try and help, you've got to do your bit to try and help, haven't you?
Well, I agree, and that's great to hear. I think that's lovely. I commend you for doing that. So that's great. So what's next then? So you got your gym, the membership's growing. What's going to be next for Darren, the gym owner? What's going on with the gym? What's
well, I've got a new venture that I'm looking at. We do a lot of supplements, proteins, protein bars, health bars, health supplements, vitamins, and things like that. We sell a lot in the gym. My next stage, what I'm just in the background of creating, and I know you know a bit about it, is creating my own brand. So off the back of the retail that we've got in the gym, rather than sell other people's products, why don't I make my own?
So, fantastic.
A lunatic I am, I know.
You got a captive audience coming into the gym.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I've got a massive opportunity with it, really. Again, building up contacts through networking and through contacts and people who people know. I've managed to source suppliers and people who can do it. And we seem to be... since we're getting all underway, really, we should be ready to start. I would imagine mid this month we should start having products in there, and we've obviously got. I'm going to keep the big brands there, and then just start and create my brands, and hopefully get the staff to go, why don't you try this one?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. And as you can see, we got Sarah Malone coming in from LinkedIn, wishing you good luck with it. So I think that's it is absolutely wonderful. And again, here Sarah's been very helpful. She obviously has someone who
perfect
was into that. So thank you very much. So perhaps what we can say, Sarah and Darren, Sarah, maybe hook up with Darren on LinkedIn and connect on there and have a conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So anyone who's watching this, if you're in the space, if you know about this, obviously, Darren is very progressive. He's very aggressive as well, and he's wants to move this kind of stuff forward. So if you're in this space, connect with Darren, on LinkedIn. Thank you for that, Sarah.
Yeah.
So I think that's very exciting. As you know, being an avid sort of goer in that stuff myself, I think I'm not currently doing any supplements, but I know lots of people who do. So I think the market is astronomical. So although I think it's a brave move, I think it's a fantastic move. Do you? So on the back of that, so I know you got your supplements, and is there clothing involved as well? You're going to be doing clothing.
I think that'll be the next. I've got to roll. I want to just build the brand in the background. I think the clothing's going to be. I've tried to have that in mind. How I'm going to roll. It literally is. I think I was discussing it with you a while about just let's get the brand out there. Let's get some products and let's see where we can go with it. Really, I think I'd love to do the clothing. In the end of it, once I've built the brand, and you can have the t-shirts and then move on to the hoodies and things like that. So I would like to certainly go down that route, and then probably a bit bigger. Really go into, as the brand kicks off, we could go into clothing in a big way. Really.
Maybe we're talking to the next CEO of a new Gymshark. Who knows? So, I'm going to put you on the spot here now, because I think that's fantastic. And why wouldn't you? It's there. That is obviously going to go well for you. I have no doubt. You're very good at what you do. So, is there then a future aspiration of perhaps making the gym that brand as well? And I know you're with Energy and Fitness at the moment as a franchise. So. But could that be a step, going forward?
I don't think so. From one point of view, obviously we work with Energy Fitness. The things that when you work with a franchise, the information and the stuff that they can get compared to what you can get on your own. They can have researchers and sat in the office. As a one gym owner, you can't possibly have the information that they can have. They can have. They've got marketeers in there, that can do trials and things like that, and they can afford to pay X amount of £1,000, 30, 40, 50,000 pounds for these clever people to sit there and do market research and look at the information that they can get. Whereas you don't have that kind of money to kind of go, we're going to employ somebody to look at market research, and I'm going to employ someone to do that. So I do love the idea of having a franchise, because the difference it can make to your business because of the research they can do for you. If I need to produce a flyer or a poster or something like that, it's a click of a button and it's all there for me. Whereas, as an independent business, you're going, right, you can have a meeting all morning to discuss it. All I have to do to try and produce it. Yes. And then you beat yourself up going, is that right? Should we look at this? Yeah. What about that? It takes 3 weeks to be able to produce a poster to put in some local shop. So I do like the idea. I know some people are not big on franchises and prefer to do everything themselves, but the information these guys can get just save you a lot of hassle.
Absolutely. And I think I agree with everything you're saying there. There is a lot of, I suppose, satisfaction in being your own brand, but being part of a larger franchise like you are with the gym, I think it has massive positives that goes along with it. So
if I'm struggling, let's say I start to struggle, or I lose a lot of members, or I need a bit of advice, there's another 130 gyms out there that I could pick up the owner of every one of them and say, I'm struggling, I need a chat, and he'd go, right, let's set up a call, or come and see me. Or you can't get that with another gym owner. He'd go, I don't know why you're ringing me, mate. I'll see you later.
But you know what? That alone is worth a lot. It's almost priceless.
Yeah, I mean, I've travelled down to some of the Energy Fitness gyms. I've been down to Wales. I've been up to Newcastle, and some of the people who are successful within our Energy Fitness gym space. I've gone, right, I'm going to drive and go see them. See what they're doing, and the things that you can get from people is massive. So, you're never going to get that in the outside world. So, I'm happy to do my own brand, but I wouldn't.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Unless I think for sale one day.
that is just about what I was expecting you to say, but I thought it was important to bring that up.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Because I think you'll. Again, I think that there's many uniqueness in owning a gym, and is that you're not really competing with the Energy Fitness that sits
No,
in Doncaster,
not at all.
because you're not having the same customers anyway.
No.
So no, I think that's a very good point. Listen, Dan, we've been talking for 25 minutes. We could probably talk for 25 hours if it came down to it. So I know you're very busy, so I won't take much more of your time. I want to thank you though for joining us here today.
Yeah, no
taking
problem. Thanks for the
out.
opportunity.
I think I would like to perhaps do this again in a year where we can talk about the supplements and the clothing and whatever you've done, and so we can sort of share with the world out there what the progress has been on that. And
that'd be great
if you're up for that. So
100%.
So thank you very much for everyone who's watching this either live or after the fact. If you're not already connected with Darren, please connect with him on either LinkedIn. I know he's on Facebook. Where else can they connect with you, Darren?
LinkedIn and Facebook, Instagram. I'm not a massive. I haven't really got into the Instagram space yet. I should be really. Again, I do it with the business. I just haven't really got involved in it. But I'm on every social network. So connect with me however you want.
Please connect up with Darren. I'm pretty sure he's happy to have a conversation with everyone about you. If you have any questions about gyms and personal trainers and all that kind of stuff, so please hook up with Darren and have a chat with him. Go to his website, as you can see, Energy Fitness /Scunthorpe, and have a visit on that as well. And keep an eye out. There's a new website coming that we're going to be shouting about with the supplement stuff. So we'll be shouting that loud about that as soon as it goes live. Thank everyone who's watching. We're going to be live again next Wednesday at 10 o'clock UK time. I'm going to be joined by David Taylor, who has dedicated his life to raising funds for cancer research, brain cancer research. He's going to come live with me next Wednesday, where he's going to talk to us about a charity run they've got going, where they're trying to raise as much money as they can for what is an extraordinarily good cause. So please come and join us on that one. It's going to be very interesting. David normally has some incredible story to share with us. So thank everyone for watching. I will see you again in a week's time. Thank you, Darren, and everyone out there. Have a nice day.
Thanks again, Brian.